A very good morning. Today, the word sustainable is the most frequently used word in business, in politics and in society generally. Because we've learned to our cost that much of what we do today is definitely not sustainable. We're constantly reminded of the reality of climate change and the cost of climate inaction. We saw the hottest summer on record in Europe this year, and many countries experienced dangerous wildfires. We also saw our rivers run dry. We need to move beyond words to action. And that's more urgent now with the energy crisis triggered by Russia's brutal and illegal invasion of Ukraine. Denmark is an example to follow in this regard in terms of action. As the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said in her State of the Union address, Denmark responded to the oil crisis in the 70s by investing massively in wind energy. That decision allowed Denmark to be a leader. And today we need similar decisive and far-sighted action in all our member states and in our economy generally. The European Union is firmly committed to becoming a sustainable economy. And our plan to get there is the European Green Deal. It aims to make the EU climate neutral by 2050 by supporting green jobs, green growth and green investment. And we need every single part of our economy and financial system across the whole of the European Union to get on board and help us become more sustainable. And that includes auditors and accountants who verify the information that flows through the system. The audit profession will be vital to help us verify if claims made by companies around sustainability are accurate, if companies are achieving their targets, and to provide feedback. So today I want to talk to you about what the European Union is doing to strengthen corporate sustainability reporting rules, the role that auditors will play within those stronger rules, and the EU's perspective on our current rules for corporate reporting more broadly. So let me start with the importance of sustainability reporting. As you know, much of the financial system relies on information flows. How much money companies are making, whether they're meeting their targets for sales and growth, or what their share price is right now. But we should also be asking for information about sustainability. So, what's a company's climate emissions? Whether the company board is gender balanced? How employees in their supply chain are treated? In fact, many investors, civil society and citizens are already asking those sorts of questions. It's not just about the information itself. We want companies to reflect social and environmental considerations in their decision-making. And by reporting on the impact they have, companies can adopt a sustainability mindset at all levels and think more about the long term. We want to put sustainability information on the same footing as financial information. And then we can measure the success of companies, not just in financial terms, but also based on their contribution to a sustainable economy. So to help companies provide that sustainability information, we have the new Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive. This directive will strengthen the rules about the social and environmental information that companies have to report. So how does the directive approach this issue? Well, first, it covers large companies and listed companies. Listed SMEs will report, but they'll have more time to adjust and more proportionate expectations of what they should report. Second, the information reported will be made available in a digital format, and that will make it easier to access for anyone interested in seeing it. Third, companies will have to report according to European sustainability reporting standards. These standards will set out what information companies have to disclose and indeed how they have to disclose it. It means that information will be credible, consistent and comparable. And the standards must be proportionate. They shouldn't go beyond what is strictly needed to meet our objectives. We should avoid asking for too much information and putting too much burden on companies in the European Union. Our standards also need to take account of global standards, including those being developed by the International Sustainability Standards Board. We expect our European standards to integrate the content of these global standards to the extent that they're consistent with EU law and the goals of the European Green Deal. Now, the European Financial Reporting Advisory Group, or EFRAG, is developing the draft European standards. As you probably know, this body already advises the European Commission on financial reporting standards. So right now, EFRAG is reviewing the feedback received on their first set of draft standards covering environmental, social and governance issues. They'll send a final draft to the Commission by the middle of November, and we will adopt the final version of the standards by the middle of next year. These standards will apply for the first companies for the financial year 2024 for reports published the following year, providing for a phased-in application of the reporting standards. Now, the fourth key element of this new directive is a requirement for an assurance opinion on company sustainability reporting, something which I'm sure is of keen interest to this audience. The assurance opinion gives auditors and other assurance providers a vital role to play in the implementation of and effectiveness of our new rules. Sustainability information should be comprehensive and it should be verified. Unfortunately, there's a lack of trust in the sustainability information reported by companies because it's not yet standardised and it's not yet audited. Our rule on sustainability reporting will tackle greenwashing. So companies will no longer be able to make sustainability claims to look good without actually doing good. So that's where the assurance opinion comes in, to improve the reliability of the sustainability information. Now, auditors already verify companies' financial statements and management reports. This new requirement around sustainability reporting will ensure that financial and sustainability information are connected and consistent. As you may know, there were concerns during the negotiations of the directive about the low level of competition in the assurance market. In response to those concerns, Member States will be able to open up their markets to other independent assurance providers to assure sustainability reporting. We are fully aware of the costs that this assurance measure implies for those who have to prepare the reports. So for this reason, we've taken a gradual approach. We'll start with a requirement for limited assurance, followed by reasonable assurance, depending on certain conditions. And these conditions refer to how the sustainability assurance market develops in the coming years, and of course the availability of an assurance standard for sustainability reporting. This gradual approach will give auditors and other assurance providers the chance to develop the skills and knowledge they need for this important task. The Commission will adopt sustainability assurance standards for limited assurance by October of 2026 and reasonable assurance by October 2028. So right now we're exploring different options for the development of those standards to ensure that they're fit for purpose and available in a timely manner. They should ensure a consistent and high-quality assurance of sustainability reporting across the whole of the single market. Now, looking beyond sustainability reporting, the Commission is also performing a thorough assessment of the quality of corporate reporting and its enforcement. We carried out a public consultation, and this provided us with a lot of good feedback from stakeholders. The consultation covered the three pillars of corporate governance, statutory audit and supervision. And that allowed for a thorough assessment of the quality of corporate reporting and its enforcement. On statutory audit, respondents to the consultation said our rules were effective overall, but not necessarily efficient or coherent. Many highlighted the lack of harmonisation on statutory audit rules across the Union and called for consistency and simplification. We found strong support for increasing the consistency of supervision of cross-border networks of audit firms. And overall, the holistic approach of our assessment was welcomed. Now, the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive will have an impact on corporate reporting more generally, and this still needs to be looked at in more detail. So in the coming months, the Commission will continue to evaluate what measures are needed in this area of corporate governance, audit and supervision. And the aim is to ensure high-quality reporting and strong enforcement. We will also actively monitor developments in the market and continue to engage with all stakeholders. So I invite you to provide the Commission services with any feedback and suggestions you have on this important topic. And so, on a final note, I ask companies to see sustainability reporting not as a burden, but an opportunity. It's an opportunity to be a front runner, to show environmental commitment and help us meet our climate goals. It's an opportunity for companies to use this directive as a tool to manage their transition to sustainability. I want to thank you and the audit profession for the work that we are asking you to do, because you will be vital to making sure that sustainability reporting reflects reality. And in doing this, you'll be helping companies providing sustainability information to become more sustainable. So thank you, and I wish you the best for a very fruitful event.